What is up? What is up? We are black, back, melanated, highly favored. Man, what is going on? Another day, another 10 cents for black folk. You already know what it is for white folk. Another $350. You already know what it is. It's your boy Warren G, the place to be in clown and sucker free since 2003. I am glad we are here to handle business and chop up real game. I just thought I would hit y'all up on a special day today. I don't know what the fuck is going on in the feed, but we recording shit anyway, so we gotta upload it. We'll just upload it. But man, there's so much shit going on. I want y'all to look around to your left and your right while you're at the corporate plantation. If you're working today, shout out to everybody that's at the corporate plantation. Shout out to Shawnee, all my people out there in Philly. Miss Wendy, Tasha, you already know what it is. Tommy's out there in New Orleans. Man, we are back, black, melanated, like I said, highly favored. Man, I want y'all to go do one thing before y'all go do anything. Go get you some Freedom Paper Company. I know you gotta wipe your ass, so you gonna wipe your ass. Go get you some of that shit right there and wipe it real good. If you ain't wipe your ass, I don't know what you're doing. Go get some CMOS, go get some blackandnoble.com in your life. You already know what it is. You know what it ain't. We gonna get into it. I ain't gonna take too much time, man. I got my boy in here. Somebody I done known for a long time. Nah, and this ain't no stunt either. I know Tasha probably like, who the fuck is that nigga? Hey, he Creole. Oh, you know, I can already hear my brother right now. Hey, nigga, what the fuck you got going on, man? Who's that light-skinned nigga in there? No, man, no. But anyway, man, I got my boy in here. We gonna get into it. We gonna talk about some shit that's been going on in the community. We gonna talk about things that we can do to solve these issues and problems. There's a lot of things that I think we can work on, and one of the main things I think that we should work on is us handling business and doing what we need to do by replacing the system of racism, white supremacy, and establishing a system of justice. That is the main thing we need to be doing, so we're going to get into it. The topic today, you already know what it is. We ain't going to be on too long, but I just want to introduce my boy. But before I do, shout out to everybody that's handling business, working. Weekends is not fun to work on. Trust me, I used to work them all the time. I worked the weekends for 9 weeks, 9 years, 90 days, everything you can think of, I done, and I hated that shit. 12 years of slave and some old shit. So we gonna get into it, man. Cut this clown ass shit down, man, so y'all can hear, man. Man, but right now we got my homeboy Nick in the house.
What's going on,
Nick,
G?
Man, what's going on, man?
Oh, you already know, man. Same old shit, dog.
What's going on, Nick, man?
Everyone out there's like, oh shit, Warren's conforming.
I was put that on my mama. I know niggas like, who the fuck is that nigga? But man, look, man, we gonna cut it down, man. We gonna get into some real stuff, man, because I want everybody to hear you, and I want everybody to understand that this ain't no joke. Man, I've known Nick for a long time, man. And you know, throughout the years of me knowing him, man, he's always been one of those type of people that just kind of just keep to himself. You know, study, do his own thing. He's not really no smiley motherfucker. This is the most I've ever seen him smile, really. He don't do no smiling, really, at all. He's more kind of like to the point, what you need, what's good. Oh, we'll chop it up sometime. And I just, you know, over the years, we started talking. And then when we started talking about books and reading and stuff like that, I was kind of shocked. Because most people, you know, they're not willing to learn, you know, until they're ready to learn. So I was kind of shocked. And he put me on to a lot of books, and then I kind of put him on to some books, and I was telling him.
Let's be honest, people don't like to read.
They
don't want to learn.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like to read, man. And the thing that I noticed about this brother, man, and he's on a quest, you know, just to establish the system of justice. And look, my antennas is always up no matter who I'm around. And when I'm around people, if they're not handling business and trying to establish a system of justice, at this point in my life, I can't be around them, because as Neely Fuller Jr. teaches, you know, if you're around people and they're not trying to do something constructive, remember I used to tell you that all the time, then you might not need to be around them people. To me, I'm a little different. I like for people to complain and get the complaint out so we can come up with a solving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when we talk, I'd be like, well, this is how you want to do that. Or, nah, let's do it this way. Because if you don't complain, then to me, how do you come up with a solvent to the equation? So I'm one from the old school of, okay, we complaining. Okay, this is what we should do about it. You know what I mean? Because we can complain till the cows come home, but if you don't come up with something constructive, then I think it's gonna be.
It just gets you more complaining.
It just gets you more complaining. That's real, and that's the thing that I've learned a lot about situations. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother coming down here, man. It is a Saturday, and I ain't gonna lie, I'll let him kind of explain it. We were just chopping it up. And talking about different books and stuff. And from my perspective, he just was like, man, we kind of need to put this on wax, man. Like, we having these conversations, and we be having good conversations, too. To the point where I'm like, damn, I should take this motherfucking conversation. This is good. And he like, man, dog, we should do something, man. We should do something. And I'm like, yeah, man, what you want, man? I know you ain't going to want to do it, Warren G, man. And I'm like, what, man? Man, let's do a podcast. I'm like, man, I already got a podcast. And then it went from there, man. Shout out to Nuke, too. Nuke is an OG member. You know, I've been telling you about Nuke. If you go back and watch the old ones, the ones like Nuke started when we both didn't really, especially me. I was just, you know, I don't really know how to engineer no podcast or do nothing like that. I just was kind of like, well, what the fuck should we do? What should we talk about? I didn't even have intro music before. We just cut the shit on and start talking. And then I was like, nah, maybe we got to do something different. So now that you're here, man, Nick, man, what's going on, man?
Man, just got off the work, man. Same old bullshit, dealing with shit at work like always, man. You know how it is.
Over your collective years, Nick, let's get into it, bro. Over your collective years working at Mini, as I would like to call it, and the people that listen here call it now, you know, the corporate plantation. What have you noticed? What have you noticed from an outside perspective dealing with different racial groups and the dominant white society? What have you noticed that has been something that has always stuck out in your mind? What have you noticed?
At the core plantation?
Yeah, just everyone's collectively. Like, what have you noticed that's always been like the main thing?
A lot of fucking white people, man. A lot of fucking white people. You look around and there ain't no black people at the top. I have a better chance of going up than you do just because of the color of my skin, man. No, seriously. And then when people like you try to say stuff and try to do stuff to make and better your situation, they come up with bad excuses as to why they gotta put you down and get rid of you.
Why do you, from your perspective, why do you think that it's like that? Do you think it's by design? Do you think that white supremacy is just in racism? Do you think it's just something that they freestyling?
Oh no, it's a system, and it's a system over 500 years, and so now you got 500 years of practice, and so now they got it down. You know what I'm saying?
And what you mean by they got it down? Like who? You mean the dominant white society? They got it down packed. That's what you mean?
Oh yeah. When you teach your kids and your kids' kids over generations and generations, you just learn naturally. Like in the lady says in White Fragility, you learn at the age of 3 to start seeing race and to start seeing how you treat black people and white people when you walk into a room. You treat them differently automatically. So you don't think that by the time you get to 25, 30 years old and you're walking into the job plantation and shit and dealing with people that have already established themselves in the white society, they already know how to treat you. They already know what it is and how they can manipulate the system in order to get what they want.
So would it be safe to say that since it's a system and it's organized and I like that, they've been practicing it for 500 years. So would it be safe to say that white people, the dominant white society, let's start with them first. The dominant white society can't deflect and act like they don't know what's going on. Because you see what Sharon Osbourne did.
Right. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Right.
Like, what do you mean? What did he do?
Right.
What? And then you see how aggressive she got with Cheryl Underwood.
Right.
Now, would it be safe to say that there's more dominant white society people like Sharon Osbourne?
Oh, most definitely, man. It's 99% of America, 99% of white people, man. You know what I'm saying? I won't say it's all white people, but you know, it's a lot of fucking white people.
Okay. And I've known you for a minute, and over the years of me knowing you, I've seen you call out a lot of fuck shit. I seen you call out a lot of fuck shit to the point to where I was like, okay, what is going on? You know, is he a double agent? Like,
Yeah,
what the
there's something
fuck is
wrong with this
going
white
on?
boy.
What's going on with him? Because you know, we know a lot of people. Me, you, our other homeboy.
Yep.
They'll be smiling with you 1 minute and then get up in that office and flip mode is the squad and will tell you the half truth of what is going on.
Right.
And that's what I'm used to. So when you dealing with people that's like you always hear me say, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, tell us what's being said, what's not in the room. I feel like there's not a lot of people that do that. And I know you probably come across them and then they get comfortable with you. Am I correct?
Oh, I've been taken into rooms.
And what happens over the collective years of you working in corporate plantations? What happens? The audience needs to hear this. Oh, this is going up because I can't see the live. This is the first time this has ever happened, bro. Normally I see the live and everything, but that's okay. This ain't gonna be the only time. We gonna try to make sure we do it at this time every time. So, but don't worry, I recorded it, so it can't be no fuck ups. Cause I'm telling you, bro. I watch. I guarantee you, my sister will probably hit me up and be like, "Bro, it didn't even post. The live didn't even." I'm telling you, bro.
Shit.
Because the first time the live, before you answered, the first time the live went, the music wasn't playing, so I had to cut the shit off, cut it back on. Then when I cut the shit off and cut it back on, the music and everything is playing, and it's showing that we live. But then when I go to the motherfucking page, it don't show shit. But this shit happen all the time. I'm used to it. So what happens when you be in those rooms, bro? Like, tell us what's being said in the room. Tell us the truth. What do they say to you when they're in the room before they know who you are?
Right. They want to get you on their side. So they're trying to talk shit about certain people, black people, so that you start talking and you start joining in with them because then it makes them feel comfortable, right? If you don't say nothing, they start feeling uncomfortable and start backtracking and start digging themselves a grave. But a lot of shit talking goes on, man.
Dude, the first time you ever experienced that, how did you feel? Did you not like it? Was you like, are they serious? Or what the fuck is going on?
Uncomfortable as shit, man. Like, hey, man, the dude's right outside the room. You can bring him in here and tell him yourself. Why are you telling me about him? Come on, man.
Hey, do you think, okay, would it be safe to say this? They look at you, so they say, okay, he's one of us.
Right. We got one.
And we got one. So I'm going to shit. And do you notice that from my perspective of seeing it, do you notice, would it be safe to say that they go exceptionally hard on black folk when they behind closed doors?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Exceptionally.
Exceptionally.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Say it.
Particularly about you, man. I mean, but it's because, you know, you don't deal with the fake shit, man, and you're not about smiling and laughing and joking with people that ain't laughing and joking with you, man. You know what I'm saying?
And trust me, we did not rehearse none of this shit. Look, motherfucker, we did not rehearse none of this shit. And just let y'all know, because my brother right here, man, like I said, we've known each other, what is it, 3 years now,
3
right?
years.
Yeah, 3 years. And we chop it up a little bit, chop it up. And a lot of the times when we get to a particular subject like reading, my brother, he knew, like once we start talking about books, I know I kind of got illuminated. You be like, damn, man, he different when he talk. Because when you start coming into knowledge of who you are and what you've contributed to this country and to civilization and what your people have done, there's a certain confidence that comes with that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know that before. But like I told you a long time, I said, bro, and I'll bring it up again. I've been listening. There's a mutual person we know too that will attest to this. I've been listening to him and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for 11 years, bro. I just been listening to him like the whole time. That's why I always tell this story about one of my homeboys. It was two homeboys. One of my homeboys, he never said nothing to me. He used to always give me props for like speaking out about, I'm gonna date who the fuck I want to date. I'm gonna fuck with who I want to fuck with. Because I used to, I told him straight, I was like, bro, I had some bad sisters in Cali, like beautiful sisters, like man that I dated, and I fucked that up. They didn't do nothing wrong. It was all on me.
Right.
But I'm not gonna not treat my sisters good and show love to my sisters, but I'm gonna fuck with whoever fucks with me. One of my homeboys, he never said anything. He was just always kind of like, nigga, I give you props because at least you kind of keeping it a buck. And he knew me. So he knew like, oh man, it's going to be hard for whoever's sister because you an asshole, bro. So, and I wasn't even reading then. So he was like, he always felt like, yeah, Warren will be good, whoever he fuck with. But then one of our other homeboys was like, how can you do that? And woo woo. And I'm just looking at him and I'm like, nigga, you're not gonna tell me who the fuck I can fuck with. I'm gonna magnetize whoever magnetizes me. Right. And it is what it is. I'm not gonna go into no where I'm seeking out Asian women or seeking. I ain't never been on no shit like that. Right. Let me tell you something. I ain't never been on no shit like that. But I always fuck with whoever fuck with me. But I've always been the type of person where, okay, whoever I fuck with though, nigga, you better be on what I'm on or this ain't gonna work. And that's why my other homeboy, right. he knew off the rip. He was like, yeah, this gonna be hard for you, man. I like, why? He's like, cuz, man, nigga, you an asshole, bro. Right. Like, you an asshole. I was known for being like, wait, what you say? Ghetto? Oh, bitch, get the fuck out. You on some racist shit. Cause you know those terms register in your processing system. You know, your processor like, hey man, why does that have to be ghetto? Right. You see what I'm saying? And that's learned behavior. And a lot of what you said about white fragility, I agree. Motherfuckers get into that deflection mode. Like, how dare you? They get mad.
And it's in that book too, White Fragility. She says, ask a white person what side of town do they think is a bad side of town. They're always gonna say the side of town that's mostly black or people of color.
Yep.
Always.
And then they, you know me with that people of color. I'll be like, oh.
But yeah, you go to certain suburbs and there's all these biker gangs, there's all these pedophiles and all these other shit, but let's not bring them up.
Do you think when you at the corporate plantation, right, and they call you in there and they sit you down and after you process it, do you be feeling like, why the fuck are they telling me this? I'm not on no shit like that. How long does it take them to figure out like, okay, he ain't on no shit like that?
As soon as you don't respond, man, as soon as you're just sitting there like, what? Oh, okay. You're about that. Oh, well, I'm not talking shit about him. And I would say it to his face. Oh, okay. Well, you need to say it to his face then. Let me ask you, Warren. Have they ever said it to your face, man?
I've never, ever, ever, ever been around any suspected white supremacists or white supremacists who have ever really told me how they felt. They've always danced around it. They've always talked about it. They've always tried to make me feel bad about being a confident black man and about being intelligent and reading and understanding who I am. I've only dealt with people that will talk around it. Right. I've never really dealt with the dominant white society at a corporate plantation that's looking me in my eye like, look, these are the things that I really don't like about you. Right. They don't do that.
And see that, and you confirm something that I've heard from my other friends who have lived in South Atlanta and Louisiana. They said I would rather deal with an overt white supremacist because they would call me the N-word to my face, rather than go behind my back and say it to someone like you.
Exactly. And this is the thing that I feel like we, as I would say human beings, we need to understand this. It's kind of like oh man, I was on the tip of my tongue. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of this show I was watching. It was on Netflix. It's about this white lady. She had two kids, a white kid and a mixed kid. But whoever wrote it kind of wrote it, it was different. The white kid's dad was the fuck up. The mixed kid's dad was smart. Came from a good home, intelligent, read, talented. Right. He wasn't ghetto. You see what I'm saying? So whoever was writing that shit was like, nah, we not gonna give y'all the stereotype this time. And I think the only reason why that went was because it was on Netflix. They'll never put no shit like that on no fucking regular TV. Right. They'll put it where the black dude is ghetto and not around. The white kid's dad was in the pen, fucked up. The black kid, the mixed kid, her dad came from a really good home, and he was just super talented, smart. Right. Everybody that was around him, like the way they wrote it, it was really good. And he was a very intelligent person, and he taught his daughter values, and he would see things that her own white mom wouldn't see.
Right.
And the white mother was the hood, the running game, the finesser. He wasn't really into the finessing. He was into go to work, handle your business. Whoever wrote it, I forgot what the name of it. It was actually pretty good, man. But that's not the norm at the Court Plantation. That's not the norm in life, bro.
Mainstream media doesn't want you to see that type of thing.
Exactly.
You know? I mean,
talk about that.
How many times has a white person came up to you and been like, "Damn, Warren, you're smart," and it's like, why are you surprised that I'm smart, man? Like, what the fuck?
Look, man. Nick, remember I told you when a motherfucker was talking about that Behold the Pale Horse book? Remember we had that conversation? Mm-hmm. The motherfucker was like, oh, man, that looks like a book. You know, that looks like a book my 12-year-old son could read. I just looked at him and started laughing. I said, neither your 12-year-old son or you could grasp the concepts in this book. And I just looked. Then he got mad. Caucasian, of course. Suspected white supremacist, of course.
Right. It's another way to keep you down, man. If they can make you seem like you're dumb and you're stupid and you're all this other shit, they can keep you below them at a level that they are comfortable with.
This my question is, that's fine, but do you think Bill Gates gives a fuck about the average motherfucking white person?
Oh no, he don't give a fuck about anybody.
Exactly. What about Warren Buffett?
Nope.
Jeff Bezos?
Nope.
Elon Musk? No, none of them do.
Man.
But you see what that? Oh, but they're just like us. Not really. Not really. They don't.
Bill Gates is trying to save the world.
Yeah, Bill Gates. Look, but you can't tell the average dominant society person that, because in their mind, they'll never give up that privilege. They know it. It's just a lot of white folk, in my personal opinion, they know they got white privilege. They just deny it around black people because there's a sense of guilt.
Right.
Like, you're reaping from it. It's like
anybody with power does not want to give it up, man.
Thank you.
They're not going to want to give it up.
They're not going to want to give it up. And I don't know why black folk act like, well, if they could just if they could just, understand about hate and racism. Look at the Asian shit for an example. Look, man, I'm going to tell you right now. I got love for my Asian brothers and sisters, but y'all did not build this country at all. And I am so sick and tired of every other racial group coming here and the dominant white society allowing them to come here, giving them the resources and tools that they need to be financially successful for their friends and families. And then what they do is they allow them to shit on black folk and then be like, oh, black people are lazy. But how could we be lazy when we built the country? Right. And if we're so lazy, then why do y'all need us for basketball and football and all these other sports? Right. Why don't y'all just go get a whole bunch of white boys?
Well, we already seen that in the 50s and it didn't work out so
good. You see what happened?
Right.
I always bring this shit up. Why you think they don't? Look, man, if Larry Bird was, I don't know Larry Bird personally, but if Larry Bird and Jerry West and them were like well-known white supremacists, they would be gods.
Right.
But because Larry Bird went on TV and was like, the black players are better than the white players.
Right.
He was off code. And for that, you notice they don't never really talk about Larry Bird?
No. They don't give him credit.
They don't say shit about him.
Right.
You notice that?
Right.
At all. They don't never say nothing. But let's see. But Luke Walton, they wouldn't even let Magic Johnson. This is another thing. I'm gonna run this by you. Tell me what you think.
They gave him a second chance of coaching.
Luke Walton sat the bench in the 2000s and didn't do a motherfucking thing, but be a check thief. Right?
Yep.
Okay. Then he went on. I don't know what the fuck he did. Then I guess he was assistant coach. Whatever. Then they gave him a shot at being a Lakers coach. He was fucking horrible, and nobody listened to a goddamn word he said. Magic takes over.
Yep.
Magic gets LeBron there. I think that was all Jeannie Buss's plan. I think they are white supremacists as well. They go along to get along with black folk. They put a token Negro there to get other Negroes to come. Because you know what? Black, let's just keep it a buck. A lot of black players are not feeling these white coaches.
Right.
Let's just keep it a buck.
Right. You got the league, 85% of the players are black.
But 90% of the coaches are white. Right. So how could you relate to me?
Right.
You can never relate to me.
And I seen in a podcast, they was talking about what they do to black coaches that are assistants that try to become black coaches. they'll say, all right, well, you're in charge as an assistant to make sure that these players are in their hotel suites at a certain time and don't pass curfew. Babysitting. And then when it comes time to apply for the head coach, they look at the black coach and they say, oh, well, you're too close to the players. We can't hire you.
Wow.
So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know what? The only reason why I speak on that too is because look at what Jeremy Lin did. Mm-hmm. You never gave Melo any credit. Right. People don't know that Melo talked to the coach. I don't know if it was D'Antoni at the time, but he talked to the Knicks coach and was like, man, give him a shot, bro. We losing anyway. This when Melo was mellow. This is when he was hot.
Yep, in his prime.
In his prime. They gave him a shot. He did something with it. Okay. You parlayed it into something else. Okay. But that doesn't give you a right to go back and be like, oh, well, they were calling me the China. No, nigga. You don't. This isn't even your league. Right. We dominate this league. Right. We gave you. This is what happens when black folk give other racial groups passes, but they don't check that shit and be like, look, bro. You know what I mean? We gonna do this shit, but
it's the same thing when a black dude calls a white dude a cracker, and all of a sudden the white dude wants to call racism. It's like, wait, what the fuck? Racism has to be backed up by a system of a dominant society, which white people dominate.
No, you're right. No, you're right. And how many times have me and you, we've been around other racial groups, and they'll claim victim mode on some racism shit.
Oh man, all the time.
There was a gentleman that was like, look, Nick, he was talking. I told you this shit. He was talking. He's like, yeah, man, I just feel like, because this was a dominant white society, brother. And he's showing me all these pictures of him in his hip-hop gear and his chains and how he used to rap and all this stuff, right? This is years ago. Mm. But then he says, I'm not with the race shit, because there could be black racism and there could be, and I'm just looking at him like, yeah, you one of those.
Hey, you know what? If you guys want it to be black racism, why don't you give them all the power? Let them dominate all 9 areas of activities. And then you can play the victim. You know what I'm saying?
That's a real, look, let me tell you something. I just looked at him and I was just like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me, I feel like black culture to other racial groups is like a pair of shoes or Gucci belt or something fancy that they want to wear and show everybody. And then when they get tired of it, they take it off and they put it in the closet and they forget about it when it no longer suits them. Right. And I feel like that's how black culture is. I used to talk about it earlier on in my podcast. Let's just take, for instance, this is probably a lot older than you, but Pink. See, the Pink now is the rock star. But she got her first start on a black record label. She knew she was on a black record label. You know why? Because she went over to the black neighborhoods singing black music. You know why? Because at the time, you have Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears. Caucasian women or dominant society, white women that have the look and the voice. Right. You, Pink, don't necessarily look like Britney Spears. You ugly bitch. So that's not going to work for you. Right. So what does she do? I'm going to go sing black music. You notice that when people come over to our side they come to the black side and they get co-signed by us. It's like a rite of passage. And then it's like, wow, you can do soul music. And then once she got on, what type of music does she do now?
Like rock, like alternative rock.
Then music. Why the fuck wasn't you doing that from the very beginning? Right. Because you knew if you would have done that, you would have been a white ugly bitch doing white music.
Wouldn't have made it.
And you wouldn't have made it. I really believe that. It's just like, that's why I respect people like Spears and Aguilera and all that. They didn't yo, and they didn't have to do none of that. Right. Britney Spears is Britney Spears. I don't have to do any of that. I'm Britney Spears, bitch.
Right. All pop music
and that's it. I don't have to do that. But then you look at Justin Timberlake and you're like, yeah. You get with the 2 greatest producers of all time, Neptunes and Timbaland and Neptunes, and all of a sudden you want to be. I watched this thing with Tank. Tank is one of my favorite. You can ask any of my family members. Tank is one of my favorite R&B singers. I think his vocal ability is dope. Church kid, raw talent, and raw talent without great producers, right? So he's on the Breakfast Club, He's talking about how he meets Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake, oh, I'll take you on tour with me. I said, the arrogance of these motherfuckers, man. You doing our music. You really can't sing that well.
Right.
You're doing our music. This guy could run rings around you vocally, but you're going to be like, I'm going to take. What happened to the. Where's the Larry Birds? Where's the humbleness?
Right.
Where is that? Where are the Keith Forsyths? Where are the motherfuckers that's like, hey, man.
Well, when you have white people on code, like you told me, they're going to see the other white people that aren't on code, and they're going to push them to the side. And so you can allow room for the people that are on code to come in.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
if you're not on code, look, man, this is what I mean by being on code. We talked about it off. We be having way better, but we don't want to be too explicit and name names. But remember, I told you, a motherfucker be smiling with you, but they will always be on code with them. I don't care what racial group they are. This is my perspective, and I don't expect nobody to agree, but I always have felt this way, that when dealing with other racial groups, they all know how to get on code with the dominant white society.
Without ever saying a word.
Without ever saying a word. You took the words right out of my mouth. They know how to get on code. I'm talking about my Latino brothers and sisters, my Asian brothers and sisters, my Indian brothers and sisters, my Native American brothers and sisters, all of them. They know how to get on code. That's why I get upset when every other racial group, like Asians for some sort of reason,
Play the victim.
they playing the victim. Violence against Asians and all these black people, and then they run with the narrative that black people just going around. Remember the knockout game? Mm-hmm. They were trying to frame that narrative. They were just niggas just going around just knocking motherfuckers out. Right. It's like, man, stop with the bullshit. And you know what I don't particularly like, and I'm going to ask you a question. How do you feel when other racial groups play victim mode about racism? Like, what does that do? Do you be kind of looking like...
Well, no, I just know that they haven't read any books and they don't really know the true history. Because if you go to schools here in America, they don't teach that shit. You know
what they teach at the schools in America? Tell them what they teach. What they teach. Tell them.
It's very, very basic slavery information. So, okay, black people were slaves. We freed the slaves. Everything was gravy. It was all good.
Look, they did it so bad where they were like, black people came over as immigrant workers to help. You notice that's the code now, the coded language. We helped build the country.
Well, it's just like you mentioned earlier with the railroad. Black people built the railroad. Asian people came over and finished part of the West Coast, and they get credit for building
the whole. Hopefully somebody listen. It's a white person saying it now, because I've been saying this shit for forever. Ever since I read the book, I didn't know that then. Then when I read Slavery by Another Name, I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Yep.
What the fuck is that? You know what I mean? I was in shock. I was in bitter shock, because I was like, damn, I can't believe that we built the railroads.
Yep.
You know what?
People got to turn off the TV, man, and pick up a book sometimes, because they just stay ignorant, man.
You know, dominant society Caucasian man told me, man, that's so sad how we did the Chinaman and forced them to build the railroads. You know, a white person told me that. I just laughed because I had already read Slavery by Another Name. I either had read it or was reading it. No, I was reading Nature Knows No Color line at the time. I don't know. I forgot when I read Slavery by Another Name. But at the time, I had heard other professors, and people say, no, we built the railroads. But I didn't say nothing because I don't like to really go off shit that I didn't read.
Right.
So I just kind of kept it to myself. But I felt like that was a way to get me all emotional. Because, like Neely Fuller Jr., you got to read that book too, man. I got it down there. I'll show it to you. He always talks about how emotions rule black folk. It rules us because the dominant white society knows we just get black people emotional. Right. Why do you think they'll be like, so what's going on, Tyrone, man? What do you think about Philando Castile? And if you get all pissed off, they got you.
Right.
I don't think the police was wrong.
Now you're an angry black man.
Yeah, you know they try to do that to me. I remember I told you everybody was coming up to me when Philando got shot. I said, that happens all the time. Why are you showing me that? And then everybody just left me alone. And that's exactly how I said it. I said, that's been going on.
Right.
Oh, now because it's for your entertainment?
They're looking for a reaction.
Yeah. I said, is it entertaining? And this is how I said, are you entertained? Are you entertained? Because what are you showing me for?
Right.
And then after that, everybody just left me alone. I almost feel like what you have seen when you have been called into office is probably monumental, because I don't think most black folk understand how it works. How does it work in the corporate plantation, man? How, like, from your perspective and what you have seen, different corporate plantation jobs, how does it work?
White people move up, black people stay stagnant, man. You know what I'm saying? And that it's all jobs I've had.
No matter how smart they are.
It don't matter if you have a degree, a master's degree. It don't matter, man. Like, a white dude with a high school diploma is gonna move up higher than a black dude with a master's degree. It's just the way it is, man.
I'm laughing because this is the shit that I've been saying for the last 2 years of doing this podcast. Nuke.
Because you need that person that looks like you, that's gonna back you up and stay on code to keep it all in line. And if you start hiring black people in these important jobs, all of a sudden
the code goes off, right?
Code goes off.
Because then they're gonna hire people that look like them.
Right.
What do you think about the terms diversity? Do you really see diversity?
I see a lot of pictures with diversity, and then they go, "Look it, see, we're not racist. We got this one black lady on the cover."
In Two Nations, I'll tell y'all about this book. It's called Corporate Wallpaper. Neely Fuller Jr. calls it racial showcasing, where you think everything is black. Oh, he's black, this black. Oh, man, there's a lot of black people here.
Yeah.
And then the unseen hand is a whole bunch of white folk
Right.
behind closed doors. Do you think that
going back to white fragility, she says that she would hold these conferences, and in a room of 200 people, you would have a white guy stand up and go, "Oh, they don't hire white people anymore." And she would look around, and there's only 5 people of color, not 5 black people, 5 people of color, maybe 2 black people, and the rest are white. And she goes, "Oh, is that what you mean by they don't hire white people anymore? Because there's 195 of you guys right here."
Wow, that's crazy. What do you think needs to happen so black folk could understand that these people really don't fuck with us at these core plantations in the United States of America as a whole? Like, what do you think needs to happen? Because a lot of times, I'll just give you an example. A lot of times you do have those black people that will coon, sambo, buck dance, throw niggas under the bus, crabs in the barrel, get around white people and shit on other black people. You have those people and conform. Now, do you think, I think those sambos need to go down south where white people are like, "I don't give a fuck how much you sambo. I don't like you."
Right.
I think they need to be around those type of white people and because to me, I feel like West Coast is a lot. It's a little Hollywood. It's very covert racism.
Right.
Smile with you, but then they say little coded things. I've told you and shared with you my experiences, and you kind of be like, "Man, that's racist as fuck." You know, Warren, like, why are you not saying anything today? Then if I come in there, "Hey, man, what's going on, man? You're too immature."
All you do is joke and
you
laugh.
always do is joke and laugh. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Black lives matter. Well, all lives matter. Or
Oh.
white lives matter.
What do you think about those white people that say that? What do you think?
They racist as fuck, man. I mean, can we just take a couple of seconds to pause after Black Lives Matter before you fucking have to say White Lives Matter? Because guess what, man? We already know White Lives Matter. I already know my life matters. I see it every day.
Or you get a constant memory of it and a constant stimulation of knowing that white lives matter. You know what I say? You know why we know white lives matter? Just look at the dollar.
Right.
Who's on the dollar? Ain't no black people on the dollar.
Right.
It's all white people.
Right.
All anti-black racists. All of them. You know what I'm saying? So those are just things that I see and I look at, and I'm just kind of like, okay, I see, I get it, I see what's going on.
Chris Rock has a saying in one of his things. He says, "I'll never be surprised about what a white person does to a black person ever." There's nothing that a white person could do that's gonna surprise me.
Why you say that? Why do you think that Chris Rock said that?
Because he's got a lifelong of he's got experiences from his whole life. You know what I'm saying? He has a thing where he's like, I train my daughters from the time they were born to get ready for the white man. Where it's like,
man. Well, look, man, that is our time. We are done. We had a couple of technical difficulties. You want to do this next time? 5 o'clock?
yeah, let's do it.
All right, man. Hey, man, this is my boy Nick. I'm Warren G in the place to be. We having a little bit of technical difficulties. Dom just hit us up too. We'll call him in a minute. Hey, man, we'll see you next week, Saturday, same time. This is gonna be a new thing that me and Nick, we've been working on this shit for a minute. We trying to get our other homeboy on here, but that nigga like, man, y'all not getting me to go on camera. But hey, man, we appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. I'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, same bad channel. We gonna probably, man, hopefully, man, if things change up, man, we'll do it more than just once a week. You know what I'm saying? And come
It
up
should
with
be a
different.
weekly thing.
Yeah, it should be a weekly thing. But next Saturday, what time? About 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
All right, 5 o'clock, man. Hey, I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. Hey, man, we out.